Good evening. I am known as Ted the Speed Learner, and this video response is going out to Maggieurie. Okay? And you're probably wondering why I'm doing this. Well, I've done this kind of thing twice before, and apparently I have not gotten my point across correctly. So I'm going to try this time, and hopefully people will get the right idea. All right. When you have people in the world that will stand there as a grocery store clerk and pick up a checkout divider and try to ring it up as if it is part of a customer's grocery order. Okay? Or you have somebody who is a clerk at a restaurant and they don't know that a half dozen is actually 6. And they don't even know what a baker's dozen is. When you have an assistant manager of a restaurant that doesn't know what a $2 bill is, when you have a book, I kid you not, when you have a book and the very first chapter they talk about a used car lot, but they don't mention what used car lot it was or tell you any details about it, and it's a part of the book. When you have a parent of a toddler, and the toddler eats ordinary everyday bugs, and instead of taking him to the doctor to just have him checked out a little bit, you instead pour a whole bunch of bug killer down the kid's throat. You have to wonder about what's going on in society today. And this is a fact. There are people that have spent so much time on their smartphones, they stare so intently at it that they will literally walk across the street and nearly get hit by automobiles coming directly at them. This is a fact. So, when I go on to videos like this and I start seeing these comments, I'm standing there going, is this the kind of person that I would hire if I was an employer? Is this the kind of person that I would socialize with? Is this the kind of person that I would let in my old age take care of me? Would I want somebody like this handling my finances? I mean, you do have stockbrokers, you know. Is this the kind of person that I would want handling my final affairs? Would you? I doubt it. Seriously. Now, in the last 2 videos that I did something like this with, the comments were like, well, you're cute. You're cute. Okay. So what? Is that all you have to say? Do you know the potential employers watch videos like this to evaluate you as a potential candidate? Oh, yes, they do. So, you have to ask yourself, what kind of an image am I projecting to my future potential employer? Okay. Now, the good news is that I have been looking through the comments left on your video, and I will have to say that they are much more intelligent than the ones that I found on the previous 2. Thank heavens. And this time I can applaud them. I'm going to move this over just a bit. We have the weirdo right there. And he says, they may be awkward together on camera, but that might not be the case in real life. Personally, I think their awkwardness is cute. I like that kind of comment. That's very informative. You know what these people are actually thinking of you. I like that. I'm impressed. Okay. Madison Mason says, there's nothing awkward about it. It's 2 girls sharing their love. I like that kind of comment. That's very informative to me. Okay. Sammy Harris writes, this is awkward. You two just keep looking at each other. And the chick on the left just keeps looking up and down to the one on the right. Well, by carefully watching this video, I know that the chick on the left is named Kate, and I would assume by the YouTube channel here, the one on the right is known as Maggie. Okay. BG Grafin. Now this is what I'm talking about. BG Grafin. Okay, these girls are cute. Why are they cute? You never say. This is a bad comment. This is the kind of person I would sit there and go, man, is that all you have to say? Okay. 66558899. Yes, they definitely can. Cancer is not restricted by gender. This is a very informative comment. I like this. Okay. Jessica Siebold says, guys can get breast cancer, LOL. Anyways, you all are so cute. Well, this is a little more informative, but I would still wonder, why are you cute? What attributes make you cute? They never say. Kayla Tacticos says, awkward because men can get breast cancer. Well, I think we've established that in a few comments now. And then Zio Snipe X says, I play volleyball too. Okay, are you any good at volleyball? Are you a bad volleyball player? How long have you played volleyball? None of these questions are answered. See what I mean? The left one is cute and hot. That's by Freebie Class. Now here's the thing. I just identified Kate and Maggie. What, you weren't attentive enough to watch the video to see which one was Kate and which one was Maggie? Fluffy Bunny. Men can get cancer. You're both super pretty. The one on the left is adorable. Again, I picked up by carefully examining the video that the one on the left is known as Kate. So, again, I wonder, how well did they watch your video? Were they really paying attention? Let me tell you something. I was paying attention. So, now we're going to direct all this to you, Maggie, and to you, Kate. All right. You say you met at school. Which school? Where's the school located? How big is the school? You probably won't ever answer me, but it would be interesting if you did. It would be more interesting if you actually produced a video response to directly answer me, because I'd like to see that. I'd like to see if you really have the courage to do that. You mentioned your first date, but you mentioned it with a mumbling tone. You need to speak up a little bit so we all can hear this. All right? Okay, now, at the beginning of the video, you didn't really specify what you were drinking. Later on, it was identified as Pepsi. Okay, but what kind of a glass is that you're drinking out of? It almost looks like a mason jar. You drink Pepsi out of a mason jar? Interesting. Okay, you met the family a year before you started formally dating. That's interesting. Okay, now, it was mentioned about the rubbing of the feet. Okay, do you just rub the feet or do you do a pedicure? How big are these feet that you're rubbing? Okay? I mean, do they have calluses? What? That would be interesting. You walk at 1 in the morning. What do? Take a AK-47 and an Uzi with you? And that's not exactly the safest thing to do anywhere. Even if you're out in the deep country, that's still not safe because you can get eaten up by the animals. If you do it in the city, you can get mugged. I don't know if that's safe. Okay, then you mentioned Maggie's face and hair. What is it about her face? Is her nose the right size? Is her hair, is it naturally straight or maybe a little bit curly? What's the texture of the hair? Is that her real hair color? You never say. So, you need to be more specific. Okay? Favorite restaurant? Again, you mumbled. Say clearly the name of the restaurant and how big it is, how many people it employs, how busy does it get, do you have troubles getting in there, how long has the restaurant been there? None of that's mentioned in your video. That would be interesting. Then you watch things like Family Guy and Criminal Minds. Okay, so you're basically a detective watching Family Guy, which I consider to be rather stupid. So I'm like, okay, are you stupid, or are you a very intelligent person that just likes to watch something stupid every once in a while? I don't know. So, I would assume you're not stupid, because if you're watching Criminal Minds, you're probably pretty educated. But anyway, it makes you wonder, because here I am also a very educated guy. All you have to do is look at my YouTube channel. You can see how educated I am. So it makes me wonder why you would even watch Family Guy in the first place. Anyway, you say your favorite sandwich is a turkey sandwich. Well, do you always use deli meat, or do you actually make your own turkey? I mean, personally, I cook turkey breasts on a regular basis. There you go. Okay. And you seem to know a lot of random facts. You ought to tell more of those random facts on your videos. That would be interesting. Now, you desiring to eat French fries on a regular basis, I'm glad you don't, because I tell you what, you'd have a lot of lard in your heart, and that wouldn't be very good for you. It's not good for anybody, to be honest. You seem to like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Well, guess what? So do I. Okay, and then you mentioned Cassandra. Well, why is she your best friend? I mean, tell us more about her. All we know is a name. We don't know if she's tall, if she's short, if she's athletic, non-athletic. We don't know any of her interests. Nothing's mentioned about that. And then, you're being late all the time. Do you really want to admit that on camera? Especially if a future employer were to ever watch such a thing. That's not a good thing to admit. Now, if you say, hey, sometimes in recreation I'm a little bit late, that's one thing. But to be constantly late, yeah. And then the melodramatics. That could be a huge turnoff to a potential employer. And yes, they do watch videos like this. I found that out. Now, you say you're from Nova Scotia. Where in Nova Scotia? Is there anything historically significant in Nova Scotia? And if so, why don't you show that on your video? That would be interesting. And then you said something about you playing volleyball. Okay, were you ever any good at it? Did you win any tournaments? Have any trophies? Have any prizes? Ribbons? What? Okay. You want to live in Paris, but you can't speak French. Well, I can't speak French either, but if I were to go to Italy right now, I can speak pretty fluent Italian. So I'd get through rather quick. I don't know that I'd want to live in Italy, but I certainly would love to visit it someday. So, this is what I'm talking about. Hopefully, you will make a very interesting video response and let me know the answers to some of these things. If you are the interesting people I hope you are, this will be one of the most interesting videos I'll ever see. But if you're like so many others that I've dealt with, well, I'm going to be bored once again. So, we'll see what happens. Anyway, this is Ted the Speed Learner signing off. I will tell you more in a future video. Stay tuned.